You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
You've had a long day at work, and you can't wait to just get home, take off your shoes, plop yourself down in your favorite chair, and relax. You walk up to your tranquil residential home and your neatly manicured lawn in your quiet suburban neighborhood, put the key in the lock, open the door, and... Yes, the pets have gone wild! What were you thinking? Welcome to the show about everything you always wanted to know about exotic pets. Where to get them, what to feed them, and how to care for them. You'll even find out why some people live with a monkey. Now, here's your host, exotic pet expert and author Bob Tart. Hey, Bob, what were you thinking?
Hi, I'm Bob Tart, author of the books Enslaved by Ducks and Foul Weather. And my special guest today is Laura Backman and Lemon the Duck, who you hear quacking in the background. Laura is the author of a fabulous book that is not so coincidentally named after Lemon the Duck. The book is called Lemon the Duck, and it's just amazing. We're going to hear about Lemon and about the book, how it came to be written, and where you can get it. Laura Backman is a reading specialist in her hometown of Portsmouth, Rhode Island. She's volunteered for several animal organizations and is currently taking pet therapy courses. She and Lemon enjoy visiting children, especially children with special needs. So, hi Laura, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Fine. Why do I have this sense of deja vu about this conversation?
I don't know.
What happened was I interviewed Laura a couple of days ago, and in yet the latest example of why I have no business whatsoever doing a podcast, I plugged the telephone interface into the input jack rather than the microphone jack. When I played it back, there was a really nice buzz and some voices in the background. So I thought maybe we should have the buzz in the background and the voices in the foreground. So here we are doing it all over again. So thank you so much for your patience, Laura.
Well, that's so something I would do. So fine.
I don't think anyone else would do it, but let's talk about, this is just a great book. It's called Lemon the Duck, and it is published by Lobster Press. That's lobsterpress.com, but I want to encourage you to go to lemontheduck.com where you will hear, where you'll find out about Lemon the Duck and about the book. So, Laura, could you share the story of Lemon?
Well, Lemon was hatched in my kindergarten classroom about 2.5 years ago in 2006, and we had 4 ducks that hatched, and she was the only one that had a disability right from the get-go. The others were fine. She had difficulty, she can't walk at all. She couldn't walk on her own. She couldn't balance. She needed support when she was swimming just because she was so young. And there was really no other place for Lemon to go. A sanctuary, she wouldn't be able to be with other ducks because they would probably beat up on her like her siblings did. We actually had to separate them. And she wouldn't be able to get the care that she needed. She needed round-the-clock care. So I kept her, and she grew up in my kindergarten classroom. I kept her in a fanny pack when she was little. She just had her head poking out, so she was keeping warm.
Oh, boy.
And the kids used to carry her around in a basket, and they take her to recess and give her treats, and she was just part of the classroom family, and then she goes home with me every day. So.
Now, what were you doing hatching eggs in your class?
Well, it was part of our science extension. We have Animal 2x2, and we compare, and we see the similarities and the differences between animals of the same species. And so the hatching project was an extension of that, and also we were studying oviparous animals, which are egg layers.
Now, I want to point out that you have been really responsible about hatching eggs and finding a place for the ducks to live. Isn't that right?
Yeah, and I do want to stress that.
Yeah, because I have heard before from folks who run sanctuaries for unwanted ducks, like our friend Kim Link at the Majestic Waterfall Sanctuary, that there's a problem with schools that will hatch ducklings or hatch chickens, and then they're not really interested in them after the kids see them hatch. But
yeah, it's really important for you to be working with someone before you even bring that incubator into the classroom. We're lucky enough that we have a lot of working farms around here, and people have enough space in their yards in order to have pets like that. I mean, not everywhere in our town, but it is. It's a farming community as well, so it's a little different than if you were to hatch it in New York City, where is that duck going to go? So
Yeah. Well,
that has to be stressed that it's not just a fun project. I mean, it is fun, but it's a learning experience, and it has to be done responsibly.
Well, I really want to commend you, because not only did you have it set up in advance that there was a place where the ducks would live, but you went more than the extra mile for Lemon, because it's very difficult keeping a duck that has disability, and a lot of people, they just wouldn't do it. They would just try and give the duck away, or take it to the Humane Society, or who knows what.
Well, honestly, I thought that was the best place for her when she was first hatched, because I thought, they're the experts, they know what to do, and I felt I was doing her a disservice. But then when I contacted Kim Link from the Majestic Waterfowl Sanctuary, she helped me to realize that I am able to do this, and I was so glad that I didn't, find a place that she wouldn't be cared for as well, because I can care for her 24/7. She's part of the family, and Kim really helped me with nutrition and how to care for her, even how to get her into the tub properly and dry her off. And so I was thrilled that I was able to find that type of resource. And I don't think I could have done it without a resource like that.
Yeah, I should mention, please, listeners, check out Majestic Waterfowl Sanctuary. There's a link on my website, but you can just Google Majestic Waterfowl Sanctuary. Kim Link does just fabulous work with domesticated ducks and geese. And remind me what state she's in. Is she in
Connecticut, Lebanon,
Connecticut. Okay.
We actually visited her a few weeks back.
Oh, yeah, you
it
did.
Was fun.
And I want to get her on the show. Yeah, I want to get her on the show sometime. So you had this duck that was still a duckling, and Lemon couldn't walk, and so what happened?
Well, she was very strong. I mean, she wasn't in any pain. I took her to several vets, and we made sure that otherwise she was healthy, and it just seemed like all she wanted to do was stand up. She would find leverage in order to get herself propped up into a standing position, but then she'd just fall over because she couldn't balance. So the kids and I really wanted to help her to be able to stand up and do some of the things that ducks can do, like muck around in the grass and get her own worms and things like that. So even the teachers got involved. They gave me TheraBands, like those physical therapy bands that you use. That we tried slings. I mean, they come up with all different things. My favorite one was when I heard the suggestion from a little boy that he said he was going to find a 4-leaf clover.
Oh.
So it would give her good luck and she'd be able to stand.
Oh, boy.
The kids are really emotionally invested in it. And there was one child and her dad who actually came up with the idea with the sling, and then we made a stand for it. It was a doggy life vest. That is what we used the sling for.
Okay, it's a doggy life vest?
Yeah, it's a phyto float.
See, I didn't even know that existed. What can you describe it? Do people take their? I don't know about this.
Their pets on the boats, and they put life jackets on them. So we used the life jacket for a dog, and we flipped it upside down, and her legs fit perfectly in the life vest, and she was supported. It was a nice netting for her neck area.
Wow.
And then we just made a stand for her, and she was able to just stand in the grass by herself and even move from side to side and get her own treats. And she loved it. I mean, as soon as we put her in it, she was like, wow.
And people can see pictures of Lemon enjoying being in the sling and in the stand on your website, lemontheduck.com. And I don't know if I've ever seen a cuter duck before in my life.
Good. That's a good thing to say.
Well, I have... Oh, because Lemon's listening, you mean?
No, just because it's me. I'd be like, oh, what do you mean the cutest duck I've ever seen? She's the cutest. Yeah, she is adorable.
Well, she's a white pekin, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
But she has
white pekin.
A tufted. See, I've never heard of a tufted white pekin.
Yeah, well, I've never really seen one either, but yeah, she was the only one that actually had a tuft. And I've heard through my pet duck group that I belong to that the ones that have the crest seem to have more of a chance to have neurological difficulties.
Oh.
So that might be the reason.
I wonder what the tie-in is. Well, we'll talk about your online duck group a little later.
Okay.
But So you had the sling for Lemon, and how did that work out for her? You said she loved it, right? She loved mucking around and
Yeah, and she was able to just be part of the group with my family and I. I mean, we would just sit out on the lawn, and she'd be on her own, taking her little time, picking up some treats, and she just felt like she was just. It just opened up a whole new world for her, so she was thrilled.
So
and then we actually made a scooter for her after that.
Good grief!
So well, had her measured, and a friend of ours made a scooter for her, so now she can walk around too.
Wow, a 4-wheel scooter, I take it.
Yeah, it's just made out of PVC piping and coaster wheels.
And where can she go with that?
Well, she goes around the house. I mean, she just stays in one room for that, and then she can, when we're on the sidewalk, she can travel down the sidewalk, and a lot of it is it's important for her circulation that she's standing.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes she just preens in it. She's just happy. She's just part of the group.
How would you describe her as a pet? What are your interactions like with her?
Well, she's definitely the alpha pet in the house because she bosses everybody else around.
What other pets do you have?
Well, I had 2 pets that have recently passed away, but she was the boss of them too. But right now we just have 1 cat, and the cat, as soon as she gives her little quack quack, she's out of here.
Really?
Yeah. Interacting her is great. I mean, if my mother and I are talking, 2 seconds later she goes quack quack, like she puts her 2 cents in.
Well, I think most people have a low opinion of ducks. And I don't say that lightly because I have ducks and I love them. And I don't think people realize the close relationship you can have with a duck.
No, I compare it to a dog when they're that close with you. I mean, she's imprinted and she lives with me. She lives in the house. And, yeah, she's very smart. She knows my footsteps. She knows when I'm coming home. She just knows even just by the cups in the kitchen which ones are hers and when she's going to eat. She has a very expressive she has very expressive eyes, and her personality is just very animated. And she loves to cuddle. She likes to be in the thick of things. She loves children. She's just really a personable animal, and I would compare her to a dog.
And I think what happens with birds is when they get close to people, they tend to think of the people as part of their flock.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And, boy, when you have a bird watching you, it's like a laser-like focus on you, isn't it?
Yeah, I love how she just stares into my eyes like she's trying to tell me something. She just really like focuses in on you. But
well, she's telling you
a lot.
Yeah, she's telling you she loves you, I guess.
I hope so.
Yeah, you can really see that. What do you think the kids learned from this, or what do you think that your children at school got out of this?
Well, besides the science content that they learned, I think more importantly they learned some social aspects to it, and not just empathy for another living thing, but also that they can be part of helping someone's life to be better, and that you don't just give up on something because it's not 100% perfect, and that we all have our own uniqueness, and we just all have our own supports that we need. I think they realize that their teacher really cares for them, and because they see how much I care for Lemon, that I didn't give up on Lemon, and I'm certainly not going to give up on them. When things are hard, if they're having trouble reading, that I'm really there for them. And I think they'll never forget it. I don't think they'll ever forget that they helped to make a difference in her life. I think they're even still surprised how dedicated I am to her, too. When I see them now, they're like, you still have Lemon? Still doing okay? I'm like, yeah, she's doing great. And they're just thrilled. They're never going to forget that experience.
Was Lemon perhaps the first animal in the lives of some of these children?
I don't know if it was the first animal, but I think it was the first experience they may have had with an animal that had some challenges. I mean, because a lot of them had fish and dogs and things like that, but I think the problem-solving part may have been the first time for them.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, I want to ask my guest, Laura Backman, about her book, absolutely fabulous book. You're listening to What Were You Thinking? And we're going to take a quick break here for a potentially important message from our sponsors.
What Were You Thinking? We'll be right back after Bob gets the ducks out of his living room. Don't go away.
planet am I on?
Welcome to Pet Planet. Here's a copy of Pet Planet Magazine, Florida's most informative and fun pet resource magazine. It features heartwarming stories and informative articles from local and national pet experts.
Excellent.
Pet Planet Magazine offers Operation Planet Rescue, helping rescued pets find new homes. And it's available at 500 locations in South and Central Florida and 24/7 on the internet at petplanetmagazine.com. If you're out and about with your pet, you may be featured in Paparazzi, candid pictures of you and your pet. For up-to-date pet-friendly events, activities, and pet-related services and products, Pet Planet Magazine is your final destination.
I shall take this magazine home with me.
Back to your home planet?
No, to my condo in Boca.
Pet Planet Magazine. Check them out at www.petplanetmagazine.com or 352-394-8578. It's out of this world.
Hey, all you dog stylists. Are you on the cutting edge of canine design and shaggy chic? Groomer Has It on Animal Planet is now casting for Season 2. Groomer Has It is looking for competitive dog stylists with amazing personalities to compete to become Animal Planet's top groomer. $50,000 grand prize for the winner, plus weekly compensation for all contestants during filming. If you have what it takes to be the top groomer, then audition for Groomer Has It today. For more information, contact Catherine at 310-727-3337, extension 71272, or email groomerhasit@gmail.com.
If you love your pet, you won't want to miss the Louisville Pet Lovers Expo, September 27th and 28th at the Kentucky Expo Center. Check out the latest in pet products and services from over 100 exhibitors. Meet adoptable pets from local shelters and rescue groups, demonstrations, and a pet fashion show. Plus, you can enter your pet into lots of fun contests with great prizes. It's all at the Louisville Pet Lovers Expo, September 27th and 28th at the Kentucky Expo Center. Go to LouisvillePetExpo.com for more.
Pet Life Radio presents Paranormal Pets, where you can always expect the unexpected. Each week we'll discuss all aspects of weird or spiritual animal encounters, ghosts, totems, psychic animals, animal souls, animal angels, and animals in religion, with a little cryptozoology thrown in. Step into the supernatural world of pets with your Paranormal Pets ghostly host, Dusty Rainbolt, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com. Okay, ducks are in the pond, rabbits in his hutch, and monkeys... Ow! In my car! Oh, okay, well, I go check my insurance policy. We'll turn you back over to Bob.
All right, we're back again. You're listening to What Were You Thinking? And I'm Bob Tart, and my guest is Laura Backman. Laura, I just love this book. Your publisher sent me PDFs of the pages ahead of time, but it didn't prepare me for the emotional experience of reading this book. What age level is Lemon the Duck geared to?
Well, it could be used as a read aloud or an independent read, so I would say probably from about 3 years up until 12. But, I mean, I have a granddaughter that I'm reading it to. She's 10 months old, and a niece that's 18 months old, and I don't know if it's just because they know Lemon, but they're enthralled with the book every time we read it.
Can you describe the drawings a little bit?
Well, they have such color to them, and the illustrator really captured Lemon's personality, not just the way she looks, but her expressive eyes and her animation to her, and I just think it's beautiful. The colors are really exquisite, and I couldn't have been happier with it.
And who's your illustrator?
I believe you say it Lawrence Clayette Merle.
Okay.
But I'm sure there's a French way of saying it, but that's the way I say it.
Yeah, and she's a woman, and she lives in France.
Yes.
And I love everything about this book. Certainly the writing, but I was going through it again, and not only are the illustrations wonderful, but I love the way the typography is on the page, how it sort of flows and, leads your eyes around. And it is just a beautiful book. I think everybody, no matter what their age is, I think anybody would love this book. Can you talk a little bit? I get a lot of people emailing me, telling me that they've written a children's book, and they want to know how the heck to get it published. I barely know how to get a memoir published. I certainly don't know how to get a children's book published. Could you describe a little bit, the steps you went through?
Well, I think the motivation was there, first of all. I felt it would be a shame not to share Lemon's story, and I did want to honor my dad who passed away from MS a few years back, so that's just something I wanted to do. So that motivated me to get to the library, and I looked up all different kinds of publishers in the Writers and Illustrators Market Guide, and I was looking for ones that were accepting unsolicited manuscripts and specifically what they were looking for.
Yeah.
So I wrote query letters, depending on what they wanted, or cover letters, and I sent out several, and I was just lucky enough to get some back.
And that's great. And where can people get this book, Lemon the Duck?
Well, it should be in local bookstores around my area, but you can also get it on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and if you go to lemontheduck.com, which is Lemon's website, there are links for you to access the book there.
Okay. Now, Lemon lives with you most of the time. Is that right? Well, I guess all the time, and you just take Lemon to school with you.
Yeah, well, I pretty much take her anywhere I can get away with it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What are some of the more unusual places that you've taken Lemon?
She's been to my granddaughter's sonogram appointment. She's been to the dentist, a powwow. She's been to a lot of different places.
Tell me about the sonogram. How did that work out with Lemon?
Well, she just came in, and I had her with me, and they said, sure, bring the duck. They did the sonogram, put my daughter on the table, and we got to see the baby, and it was fine, yeah. Because, I think what helps, too, is that she wears a diaper, so it's not like they're worried about a mess or anything.
Yeah, and probably Lemon had some important comments to make also.
Oh, yeah, she always does.
Yeah.
I think the shock value, before they even have a chance to say no, I'm in the door already, so...
Yeah. What are some of the special challenges that you have with Lemon, or that Lemon has?
Well, Lemon can't walk or stand on her own. She can with her equipment, but she's not able to balance, so she obviously needs the equipment. And in the water, she has a little bit of a tilt to her, and sometimes her neck actually twists. It's not painful, but it's like a spasm. So I always have to make sure that I'm with her.
But she does pretty well in water.
Yeah, she loves the water. She just absolutely loves it. And she swims pretty good. Just sometimes she just needs a little bit of help. And she also tends to get infections when she lays eggs, like reproductive infections.
Mm-hmm. And so what do you do about that?
She has to be on meds for that. And she visits her vet very often. He knows her quite well. So I'm always, anytime anything's different, I'm pretty much very in tune to Lemon, so I just take her in right away. Yeah.
Do you want to give your vet a plug?
Yes, it's Dr. Wietzma from the Wickford Veterinary Clinic. He's awesome. He's just, I couldn't believe I could find somebody so great, because he really understood how important and what a nice life this duck had had, even though she had the challenges.
Yeah, it's not so easy finding vets who know what they're doing with ducks and geese and animals like that.
No, not at all. And I didn't know that until I've gotten into the situation, but it's you almost feel like they're taking a guessing game when you're not with an avian vet. And I'm sure that's not the case, but unless you have an avian vet for your bird, you don't really feel like you're getting the best quality of care. No.
And you're kind of on a frontier in a way with Lemon, aren't you?
What do you mean?
Well, there aren't that many people who are doing what you're doing. I don't think there are that many people who have a duck with Lemon's problems and are sticking with her and, doing everything for her that you're doing.
Well, no, I don't think that they expect that the animals like this will live for very long, especially if they're in the wild. They wouldn't probably at all. So no, I don't think there's a lot of. I haven't met a lot of people that have ducks with this problem, but there are some. I mean, I've come across maybe 5 people that have.
On your website, I see a link to a duck named Sebastian who lived to be 12 years old.
Yes, he was taken care of so well. My friend Sharon took care of him. She actually started a Ducks with Disabilities web group on Yahoo, and we share resources and nutrition and things like that with people that also have ducks with disabilities.
Wow, that's great. I was going to ask if you are becoming a resource, that you're getting emails from people.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting phone calls and emails, and I'm happy to share the information because there's not a lot out there. And the thing is that each duck's neurological challenge is unique to the duck. So what works for one person might not work for another. So we kind of brainstorm and try to help each other out that way.
Well, tell me about your PDRU online group that you're a member of.
Well, it's called Pet Ducks Are Us, and there's over 900 members. And we share information and stories and nutritional information or housing information for the ducks. It's just a place to share resources and share information and make sure that, you know, you're up to date with the latest information on what's good for your duck. And, you know, a lot of people, they form some close bonds because they have a lot of similar experiences.
This is a Yahoo group, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, there's some great people on there. I interviewed April Rousseau a few months ago, and she has, is it Katie Kamikaze Duck? Her house duck?
I believe so. Kamikaze duck, that's all KD, yeah.
Yeah, she was the first one who told me about duck diapers, which was a revelation. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's wonderful because Lemon being in the house, I mean, that would be just would not be pleasant.
So did you get the apparatus from, is it from Mother Duck or?
The Goose Mother.
The Goose Mother.
Yeah, you have to actually measure your duck
and,
you know, get the colors and sizes that you want, so it's kind of it's a unique process.
And it's pretty easy getting the contraption on Lemon, and Lemon is okay with it, probably used to it by now.
Yeah, at first you're like, what is this? And you're trying to figure out, you know, the different straps and things like that. But yeah, now I can do it within like 20 seconds, fine. And Lemon doesn't mind it at all.
Now, when you take Lemon places, what are some of the questions that people frequently ask you?
The one I get the most is that a real duck? Even though she's quacking and she's moving, they still ask me if it's a real duck.
I guess it's because it's something they've never seen before. A person with a duck in a bag?
A stroller. I usually have her in a stroller when we're out. Yeah, and then some people will say, oh, your duck's so beautiful. And I just say, yeah, he takes after his dad.
Oh, perfect. So let me try and envision this. You're walking down the street with a stroller, and people walk up to you figuring they're going to see a baby?
Well, yeah, and then they say something cute, like, oh, isn't that baby adorable? I'm like, yeah, he looks like his dad. And then they laugh and they keep going. But a lot of times I'll get, is that the Aflac duck? Or why do you have a duck in a stroller? Things like that.
Yeah.
It's not anything mean or anything. It's just, I think they're just shocked.
Well, it's just not something you normally see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the classes that you are doing with children with special needs, or is that what the pet therapy is?
Well, the pet therapy classes that I'm taking now, we're learning just the basics of what pet therapy is, but at the end you develop your own program, and what I'd like to do is to be able to bring Lemon into not just my school that for children with special needs, but into other schools, possibly hospitals and things like that. I just want to be able to take Lemon and have as many kids experience her as possible.
But you have done some of this, haven't you?
Yes, I've already taken Lemon I already take her into my school already, especially with the special needs kids, and they really connect with her. It gives them good practice for social skills as well as being able to touch her and pet her appropriately. And I've also taken her to Shake a Leg, which is a spinal cord injury camp. And the kids really enjoyed it. They were all able to hold her, even though they all had disabilities. And they watched her in her scooter, and they kind of followed along in their wheelchair.
Oh, boy.
It was fun. Yeah, they really liked it.
And so the kids, they seem to relate pretty well to her.
They do, yeah. Even the kids that at first are leery, once they see how friendly she is, I mean, they're right up petting her, and they just can't believe. Even, you know, the parents are really amazed, too. They're like, oh, can I pet the duck? Because a lot of people, they've been chased by geese or something like that, and so they have a negative idea of what they're going to experience, and then they just can't believe how friendly she is and soft, and it really changes their attitude.
Yeah, and I think you told me that some of the autistic children really do well with her.
Yes, they do. They just really connect with her, and they're able to talk about her disability in a non-threatening way, whereas when you talk about it with people, you're always worried you're going to hurt someone's feelings, and you don't have to worry about that with Lemon.
Yeah.
I mean, even the kids in my school, they were really cute on her birthday. They made her a banner, and they read her stories, and one autistic child, she was pointing out all the rubber duckies in the I Spy book for her, and they just really, it was really important. I mean, she even wrote it was really difficult for her to do her writing. She was motivated to write letters to Lemon.
Wow. I bet you're saving those.
Oh, yeah, I've saved them.
Wow, that's great. And I understand that you are not looking to become a millionaire off Lemon the Duck. In other words, you're doing something special with the profits.
Yes, I'm donating half of my profits to the MS Society in honor of my dad, who passed away from MS, and also to the Majestic Waterfowl Sanctuary, who was extremely helpful in the beginning days of when I was taking care of Lemon.
Wow, that's great. I really want to thank you for being on the show. Is there anything else you wanted to mention?
No, I think that's it.
Oh, okay.
Just visit Lemon's site, lemontheduck.com.
Yeah.
You can also write to her, too, through the website.
Oh, you can?
So if kids want to write questions or even if they want to mail something, there's a mailing address there, too.
And I imagine she's pretty good at pecking the right keys for a response?
Yeah, she's pretty good. I mean, I think she does like 5 words a minute, but she's all right.
That's good. That's good. Well, this is a fabulous book. I cannot praise it highly enough. I've looked at it many times already. My wife just went crazy over it. So even if you don't have children, you got to get the Lemon the Duck book. It's certainly the duck book of the year, and it may be the best duck book ever. So
thank you.
So lemontheduck.com, and I've been talking to Laura Backman. Thanks so much, Laura.
Thank you.
And I hear Lemon saying thank you, too. Okay. Well, that brings us to a close of yet another episode of What Were You Thinking out here in the Michigan countryside. I'd like to thank my guest, Laura Backman, for being on this episode. And I'd like to remind you that if you have stories about exotic pets, meaning anything other than a dog or a cat that you would like to share and you would like to be a guest on What Were You Thinking, just drop me a line. Send that email to bob@petliferadio.com. That's bob@petliferadio.com. And, tell me a little bit about the interesting lizard or bird or monkey or insect or whatever kind of animal that you have. Okay, so thanks so much to our producers who this week are producing What Were You Thinking from the back of a flatbed truck on the Idaho prairie. Bye-bye.
Thinking about buying a monkey? How about a ferret or a skunk? Then check out the show that will answer the burning questions. Where do you get them? What do you feed them? How do you take care of them? And most of all, what were you thinking? With exotic pet expert and author Bob Tart, every week on demand from PetLifeRadio.com.